Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. That's the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we're very excited, but also a little bit sad because this is the finale of Cobra Kai Season 6, Episode 15, called X-Degenerate. Oak, it's been a wild ride. You've all been here with us for it. I'm just really hoping that, look, I shouldn't even need to hope. I know it's going to deliver. Who knows what kind of emotions we're going to have.
Of course, for everybody who's been around for a minute, you know the title X-Degenerate, a throwback to the original Karate Kid movie when the Cobra Kai rolled up on the beach in their dirt bikes and their red leather jackets and that epic scene. Speaking of throwbacks, I got my custom 1984 All Valley Under 18 Karate Championships referee shirt on. A little bit sentimental. This was the shirt I was wearing, as some of you have seen in previous episodes, when I first met William Zabka and Ralph Macchio. Just total fan moment. But look, this has been such a fun ride. I'm in the same boat as Mason Quinn. Really excited. Little bummed at the same time, but can't wait to get into it and see how this story wraps up.
All right, with that being said, let's go! This is a mess.
Hey, Bob, we are way behind on schedule, so I'm gonna need you to get everything hooked up like yesterday. All this stuff needs to be done by tomorrow. Gotta have it done.
Boss, I'm not an electrician. I mean, shouldn't we wait for the pros?
This can't be that hard. Couple plugins, couple wires. It's not that big of a deal. We do not have time to wait for the electrician, so just get it done. I'm counting on you, all right?
I'm counting on you. Oh!
Jumping jackrabbits, Bob, what the hell happened?
Oh, I knew this was a bad idea.
Bob's instincts were right, but his supervisor didn't listen. Now Bob's injury could be worth millions.
Wait, did you say millions? Who are these professionals that can help me?
Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm with more than 1,000 lawyers and 4,000 case staff ready to fight for you if you become their client. But Bob is worried because he doesn't have the cash to pay for expensive legal fees. Worry no more. When your boss puts you in a dangerous situation and you get hurt, don't settle for less than you deserve. Morgan & Morgan will fight to get you every penny. And the best part? It's completely free unless you win. But Bob feels conflicted. He doesn't want to sue his boss, even if the company hasn't paid him for the last 6 months. When you sue for an injury, you're not suing your boss. You're suing their insurance company. There's no reason to feel bad about getting the compensation you deserve. So if you've been a victim in a car accident, medical malpractice, workplace injury, or any other personal injury, you can hit the link in the description to get Morgan & Morgan to fight for you. Bob did, and he sure is thankful Morgan & Morgan had his back.
Oh man, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
There's the vans.
This has got to be a throw. Okay, I was going to say,
yes,
wait a minute.
Before, yeah.
Oh no. Whose grave is he going to? Is that his mom's?
His mom, yeah.
Or his dad's?
Hey, Mom.
Never. Okay.
You know, it's been a little while since the last time I was here. So hoping to have my life a little more together before I came to see you again. I guess that was just a pipe dream. I figure I better come see you now while I still can. Might not be able to get here for a little while. Got myself into a jam over at the Applebee's. Police got involved. It's taken me a while to realize, but I get it now. Guy at Applebee's was right. I am a loser. The sooner I come to terms with that, the better. Because in life, you don't get second chances, Ma. I'm sorry I let you down.
Whoa, wasn't ready for that.
Hey, you're up early.
Skinner.
Your turn. Oh, yes. I'm gonna take a shower.
She actually looks like she's been up all night.
Hey, sweetheart. Dad's got a big fight coming up. A second chance. This time I can't blow it.
A lot of pressure he's putting on himself.
Whoa, you're not kidding.
Stay centered, Johnny.
Get some training in.
Yeah. Johnny and Chosen.
Oh, he's having some images of the.
Not bad. You could knock him out, but you're leaving yourself vulnerable. You might want to hang back, let him come to you, instead of trying to win it all with one flashy kick. Crane kick only worked because you ran straight into it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you ran straight into the crane kick, he said. The crane kick only worked because you ran straight into it. Miyagi said if done right, no can defend.
All right, LaRusso, hold him tight. I don't want to knock you down.
Did you get enough sleep last night?
Yeah, I'm fine. Hold him up. The hell are you doing, man? Pick up the damn pads. You gonna help me here or not, LaRusso?
Hey, you wanted me to be your sensei, right? Well, the sensei knows when his student is off. So does a friend.
Everything's riding on this.
Yeah.
Okay, Rocky's training hard the whole movie, and in the end, what happens? He comes this close, and he loses. It felt to him, to everyone, like he won. He gets to hug the woman that he loves because when the fight is over, that's all that matters.
The man
It's the same
kept
thing
coming
with you.
at you.
Whatever happens, you got people around you who care about you, man. Present company included.
All right.
Similar to Robbie, you know.
Pretty good at this sensei shit.
Good, because break's over.
No!
He still needs to win.
It's just...
Yes, I told you.
Yes! Let's go!
We're gonna get it.
Yes!
They got the song.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Easy
I
on the
knew
desk.
it.
Easy.
I knew it.
Easy.
You can. Oh, they did it!
Your speculation was right about how they kind of pulled it.
Nothing's gonna happen. I can't believe it. But I've been waiting since 1984 for this song.
I know.
Oh, it's so epic. The Rocky.
Yes. Here we go. Oh, they're all joining in.
Till you drop, never stop. Can't give up until you reach the top. Fight. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever bring you down. You're the best. Forever. Nothing. You're the best around.
Ah, what a moment.
Down. You're the best. All right. Encino Commons. Oh, I've been waiting.
That almost completes it right
40
there.
years I've been waiting to hear that song in a movie again. I can't believe it. It's the greatest. Yes. Oh, can we just rewind it for a minute? Can we do that in the middle of a reaction?
Yes. So I got into Stanford.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Miguel.
That's amazing. Wow,
Stanford.
so they saw your victory and reached out?
No. They accepted me while I was fighting. I guess it was in my inbox while I was on the mat.
They wanted him for his hard work and character, not just his karate skills.
Not just as bad.
Congratulations.
We got Ma LaRusso here also.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Oh, Mom.
You get through high school, you get a gift. That's how it works.
What is it?
I don't know.
Headband?
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Grandma, that's beautiful. Lucille, are you sure? That must have cost a fortune.
Didn't cost me a penny. Mr. Miyagi gave it to me.
Oh.
It had too much sentimental value. So when he got married, he gave it to his wife. And during the war, she passed away at Manzanar.
Oh, they're going hard.
I didn't know he ever told you the story. The guard attacked Mr. Miyagi, so he had to knock the bastard's lights out.
I guess there's always more to the story.
He asked me to give it to Samantha when the time was right. It feels right to me.
Wow.
How
He's
does the show
writers of
do
this
this?
show.
How do they do it?
The writers of this show.
The All Valley.
Welcome back to the final tie-breaking match
Your
of this
quench.
year's Sekai Taikai.
This is so cool. The tooth fairy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Everybody's asking for Tori's autographs.
Is this a job offer? a career offer, and a very cool one at that. We travel you to tournaments where you compete, put on demonstrations, take photos, post on social, that sort of thing.
Oh, that's what Tori
That's
needs.
just the base salary.
Life-changing.
You don't have to give me an answer now. Show that to your lawyer.
Serious?
Just like
Absolutely. We saw what you did out there. An injuries heal. The world's gonna want to see the two of you competing together.
that. I mean,
Bruh.
it is working out.
They didn't win the tournament. Well, Tori did.
Tori did.
Robbie did, but
I'm sorry about that. But after what happened in Barcelona, I wanted to make sure that the tournament resumed without any issues. But I'd like to make it up to you.
Make her the MC.
oh,
It's coming up aces for everybody.
Whoa.
Is he taken?
Yeah. No. Unless you're saying you'd like to reclaim it?
Yes, Dimitri, since my hand was on it. That is what I'm saying.
Right, yes. So, my apologies accepted?
Yes, all billions of them. The flowers and the candy were appreciated too. You definitely got a little full of yourself, but I've been there, so I get it. You did the crime. You've done your time.
I miss you too.
just wins for
Wins all
everybody.
around. Everybody
making
gets
it.
a win.
Private.
What? The fight's about to start. We're gonna miss all the action.
No, you won't.
Oh,
I can't. We're only like 15 minutes in and we're getting to it already.
remember, we got to have some sort of wrap up, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
after. They can't end it like the first one where it's just he wins and we walk.
You hear that sound? That's the sound of your hometown crowd. Everyone you know is here to watch this match.
It's like Dutch coming in
Hey,
on
if you
Daniel.
think you came here to psych me out before the fight, you got another thing coming.
I'm not here to psych you out. This is going to be easy. Even your little one. She might not be aware now, but the kids at school will call her loser.
Ooh, drop the L-bomb.
Oh!
I could break you right now. We'll save it for the cameras.
Oh, dang.
Oh, shit.
Not so confident now, are we?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, boy.
boys and girls, it's my honor and privilege to inform you it's karate time.
Karate time.
There you go. Thanks.
What do you think, Oak? They going to give Johnny Lawrence the W?
I don't know, man.
Today's tie-breaking sensei match.
Ooh, they're all doubting him.
Should we recognize those guys?
I don't know.
I didn't.
Let us know.
Led by their sensei, the youngest fighter to ever win the Sekai Taikai. He's undefeated in 7 karate circuits. He was born Peng Xiao, but you might know him better by another name. Please welcome Sensei and the Iron Dragon.
Look at that intro. They got a tunnel and smoke.
Who's cheering for these guys?
Ah.
And All Valley, where are the fans for the Iron Dragons coming from?
They must have brought them with them.
Well, you heard it. Please welcome the Valley's own Cobra Kai.
Yeah, because what sketchy shit was Silver going to pull for him?
Yeah, that was his ace in the hole.
Oh!
Hey, I like Daniel on Black.
Look at
Daniel LaRusso!
Cobra-
Black D! Holy
Where
shit!
did Cobra Kai colors?
We got LaRusso in black!
Oh.
Wow. Chosen in black.
Yeah.
But LaRusso in black?
Never thought we'd see it.
Never thought we'd see that.
Here we go, Johnny.
Why do I feel like I'm at an actual... I feel like...
This is it.
This is
from
it.
1984. So you've been waiting on
41 years, dude.
to see Johnny get the
41
W.
years. I love Vidal, but I was hoping for the referee shirt just a little bit, but we love Vidal.
Yeah.
I just lost my voice already.
You did.
I lost my voice already, guys, from You're the Best.
Hey. Okay?
Yeah, fine.
Fighters,
Take your position. I want a good, clean fight. The whole world is watching. Now, face me, bow. Face each other, bow. Ready.
Looks so smug.
Fight!
Is that all?
Come on.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
The setup here.
It's like he's
Afraid. Ready.
I'm afraid, all right? Oh, I've heard that before.
Fight!
Must not lose to fear.
Come on, old man. Let's go.
Oh. Is Daniel going to give him the same pep talk? Oh.
It's got to be illegal, right? No point. Direct elbow to the mouth.
Keep that up. He should be losing points.
Yep.
Next time, it's going to be a 1-point deduction.
There we go.
Well, I'll be more careful next time then. I promise.
Time. You're bleeding. Put your foot. Turn. Kneel.
Directly out of the first one. Go to your sensei.
Yep.
Tips his head back.
He's too fast. He's too strong.
Since when have you cared about that? Let go of the pressure. I told you, it doesn't matter if you win. You just do your best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working.
Something else has got to give here. Something's got to give. Oh, the old jump up from.
Playtime's over.
Oh boy! So he was taking the first round just to mess with him.
Oh, yeah. Wolf was doing all defense. Holy cow.
Es mami, todo saldrá bien. Todo saldrá bien.
Wolf. 2-0.
One more point wins.
One more point, and the Iron Dragons will be crowned Sekai
Is he going to
Taikai
pull a
champion.
Barnes and now purposely lose a point just to hurt him?
Oh, yeah. That's what he's going to do.
He's way off balance. Not sure Miyagi-Do is gonna help.
Then try something else. You know how his mind works, Daniel-san. You are his sensei. Wolf wants to obliterate him. You must do something.
God, the tension they've built here.
Don't worry. We'll be all over
Johnny's
soon.
going to say it. Johnny's going to say it. Or Daniel's going to say it. Dude, watch. Daniel's going to say it.
Time out.
Watch. Daniel's going to say it.
We'll see.
You thinking? You know what I'm thinking,
see.
right?
Let's find out.
He's going to say it. He's going to say it. Daniel LaRusso in black. He's going to say it.
This guy knows his shit.
He's going to say it. He's going to say it.
What dojo are you fighting for?
Cobra Kai.
And does defeat exist in your dojo? Does it?
No.
Does fear exist in your dojo?
He's going to say it.
And get out there and kick the living shit out of it. You hear me?
Say it.
Yes, Sensei.
Say it. Oh, I thought we were going to get a no mercy.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get a no mercy, but that was awesome.
That was close.
But there's one more line.
Yep.
One more line we need from Daniel.
Is that all you got?
Oh,
There you
yes!
go. There's a point.
Yes. 1.
Oh, see, he's looking for his.
He's looking for silver.
His insurance policy.
It's not there. Ooh, it's an illegal shot.
Yep, that'll cost him a point.
So he just lost a
No
point.
point. Knee to the side.
No point. Oh,
I guess it's
not an illegal shot,
but it's
technically.
it's not a point shot.
It's not a point deduction. Yeah.
Sweep the leg.
No, I wasn't. That's not the line.
I know.
I was waiting for the old no mercy and then. Oh, he caught him with it, but he waited till he came to him.
Yep. 2-2.
2-2. Whoever gets the next point
That's us
will be
watching.
our winner.
Like that you have your confidence back. But remember what you learned at Miyagi-Do. Trust me, you have to have balance. Be careful, this guy is pissed.
So am I.
Fight it. You're lying.
Oh. Gosh, you don't think we'll see a crane kick, do you?
Face each other. Foul. Ready.
Oh, what's he doing? Oh, look at the slow motion.
What's this guy doing? Oh, he's... Johnny ran into it. He knows better to run into it this time.
Yep. Sweep the leg!
Swept the leg!
Oh, you still got to get him, though.
Nice.
That's point, right? That's it. That's got to be it.
Boy, winner!
There we go. Oh, I was waiting because I thought he would be more triumphant when he landed the punch. Come on, up top. There we go. He swept the leg.
Dimitri.
We won!
Big W for everybody.
I was waiting for a finish him or a no mercy, but they let Kreese have the last no mercy.
Yeah, which is
I'm
fitting.
good with. Oh.
A little bit of honor there.
My husband's the world champion.
I love you so much.
I love you.
World champion for Johnny Lawrence.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present the grand trophy to the winners of this year's Sekai Taikai.
GR? Oh, yes!
The world's #1 dojo, Cobra Kai! And my voice is shot, ladies and gentlemen. If there was ever...
You're all right, Lawrence.
There it
There's
is.
the line.
You're all right, Lawrence. The line.
Favorites. Napoleon Dynamite had some of those.
Hawk got a racing stripe.
And I'm just gonna miss you so much.
I'm gonna miss you too, Dad.
Yeah, you better.
Jersey tough?
Valley tough.
Boom. Probably some realism there between the actors.
Oh yeah, I mean they've been working. They've been working together for 6 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Has a show ever given this many wins on a finale? And we're not even close to being done.
Oh, look at that.
Guys,
All right, Stingray! Yes!
It's the hardest one to understand. But the fact is, if you're too nice, the world's gonna walk all over you. A lot of you have been told your whole life that you're special. Well, that's about to change.
Keeping it Cobra Kai.
That's right, I'm talking to you, Four Eyes. Good God. Take those glasses off. Get a cooler pair or get some contacts, but I never want to see those in this dojo ever again. Do you understand?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, Sensei.
You're not trained to be merciful here. But I will bring out the best in you.
He's balancing it.
Galdias may be a world champion, but when he first stepped foot in this dojo, he was a total dork. It's like this kid right here.
like
maybe
Weird
not as
Al.
bad, but the fact is, Cobra Kai turned Miguel from a beta duckling into an alpha swan. So it doesn't matter how much of a loser you are right now.
I love they're staying true to him.
All that matters is you stop being weak little crybabies and start being the strongest versions of yourself.
I like that.
Yeah.
Strongest versions of yourself.
Yep.
I can't hear you!
All right, lay it on me.
So the show would be set in Hell Valley, alternate 1985. All we need are Wilson, Thompson, and Zane, and we got the green light.
Billy's a friend. The guy did an art piece for my foyer. It's an easy call to make. Feel like why not get Crispin too? Maybe Mike to direct. We'll blow this thing up.
Oh, this is gonna be amazing.
Here you are.
Gracias. Kids are really chomping at the bit for the All Valley.
Yeah, it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, and I was thinking that Devin could fight for Miyagi, though. You know, she could use a little more defense.
You got it.
Hey, I mean to ask you, did you ever get one of these in the mail?
Yeah, it's a property tax bill.
Didn't I already pay taxes when I bought the place?
Yeah, you did, and you're gonna have to pay that bill too.
Are you serious?
And it's no different than your business tax that you pay for the dojo.
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna introduce you to my accountant.
Hey, what, is he gonna send me a bill too? All right, I'm gonna go drain the main vein. Don't order without me.
I'll still be a Johnny.
Oh, chopsticks. You gonna get it?
Hey, Mr. Miyagi, look.
That's just still to this day.
Always have the memories.
We'll always have the memories.
No mercy.
No mercy.
Oh man, what a finish. Oh, that felt good. That felt really good. Man, so many times. Look, we'll get into the nuances and all that stuff later, all the individual stories that everybody had, the characters, that sort of thing. But just from an overall standpoint, look, it was the 6th season, the final episode. How are they going to end it? Now, Cobra Kai hasn't always given us the happy ending, as we've seen through, these 6 seasons. They haven't always given you the cheerful, happy, winning ending that we want sometimes. Sometimes our characters take a loss. And I wasn't 100% going into this if Johnny was going to win or not. That being said, they did give Johnny the win. They gave pretty much everybody the win in here, which I thought was great.
Look, you get a win.
They were just handing them out to
You get a
everybody.
win. You get a win. Everybody wins.
Which I'm so glad to see, because sometimes you just want that. Sometimes it's like,
need the
just
win.
just give us the happy ending that we want, especially since, this is done and this universe is... In this setting, this universe is mostly done. And obviously, we have the other movie coming out. Yeah. And there, of course, is always the possibility they could do something else. But for the sake of this series, with this one being the final one, I like that everybody got what us as fans wanted them to have. We had... Sam going to Okinawa and had that incredibly emotional goodbye with Amanda and Daniel, which, look, I know there's some fantastic actors, but there was some realism there with everybody. I think 100%. Saying goodbye to the job. You hear about that a lot on sets where, the actors obviously very emotional after their last day on set, especially something that's gone 7 years. You think about how much of the percentage of their life that it is for some of the younger actors who were on here. That might be 35-40% of their whole lives they've spent doing Cobra Kai. If they got in, they're under 20, they spent 7 years doing this. Let's say that's a huge chunk of your life, percentage-wise, that they've been doing this. So I can completely understand, the emotions running high and everything. And look, they absolutely delivered. They gave us everything we wanted. Johnny got the big win. Everything worked out. We got a little bit of backstory in the beginning that I wasn't expecting, with Johnny going to his mom's gravestone and everything, and where he was at, prior to the series starting. And that was good to see. And then, of course, he comes back to it victorious, which is really good to see. And they did, as you folks saw from Oak's reaction, they gave us all the fan service that we could have ever wanted in the final fight. So I thought that was great. And it was just such a great conclusion to all these beloved characters that we've been introduced to over the last 7 years. And it was really fitting. I was happy with it. I'm so glad to say that this is a series that I thought they absolutely stuck the ending, and it was perfect, and I wouldn't have changed a thing.
Josh Held, John Hurwitz, and Hayden Schlesberg, the 3 gentlemen most responsible for this. Of course, a massive team behind the scenes to produce this. And the reason why I want to recognize these 3 gentlemen, look, I love Martin Kove. I love Ralph Macchio, William Zabka. Yuji, how do I pronounce his last name? Yuji Okumoto, played Chosen. These guys are absolute rock stars, right? And I know that Ralph Macchio didn't want to come back unless it was right, and I know William Zabka didn't want to come back unless it was right. But at the end of the day, I think had the story been pretty good and had the money been right, I think those guys probably would have came back. Still, look, I know Ralph Macchio and William Zabka and Martin Kove hold this very near and dear to their heart. But I think they would have came back if it was, if it was a good story. I think they would have came back. But at this point, as I've mentioned before, as somebody who's been just as pretty close to big of a fan as this universe as you could be for over 40 years,
it is those three gentlemen, Josh, John, and Hayden, that I want to recognize. And this might be a little overly dramatic for a 45-year-old man, but thank the most. You took a story from so many people's childhood, and you just cradled it and let it grow and blossom, and it had its bumps and bruises, not of course as far as ups and downs whether the writing was good, but in the story, as Mason Quinn said, and they
nailed it.
You gave us a happy ending that felt very 80s. It was a win, but the way they told this story as a fan, you couldn't ask for anything more. You absolutely couldn't. You know, I don't know if it's going to make the cut. I had joked on a few things. Are we going to see, Sean Kanan back? Are we going to see Hilary Swank? Look, that's, of course, earlier seasons we talked about seeing Chad McQueen, and that's ins and outs of business, right? Yeah. So that's business. And some of that stuff is outside of their hands. But as far as a story, as far as telling a story of, we're going to fast forward, the first episode came out in May of 2018. So at that time, you're talking, 34 years after, 34 years after the original, right? And they came out, and every season they told a compelling story. They had so much comedy, they had drama, they had lessons, they had everything you would expect. They brought you a modern show, gave it a very 80s feel. And I'm biased, right?
But as we talked about, and we've talked about it before, this could have gone so
bad,
wrong. I mean, it would have been so easy to go wrong. Because as we heard from Kirk Ward and Albert Hughes, sometimes studios get involved, sometimes whoever gets involved, and they start changing things and moving things around. I mean, could you imagine if some studio executives who know nothing about the world of Karate Kid would have started changing and moving stuff around and doing things? The fact that they were able to pull this off is what amazes me the most.
Look, this is what we do. We do reactions, right? And we've watched some pretty incredible stuff. We've watched Oscar-winning films. We've watched stuff that was very heavy. Movies that have made $1 billion. Some of the greatest written TV shows of all time. And for me, for the universe that this lived in, look, am I going to say this is better than Band of Brothers, or it's better? You know what? It's different, right? But for the universe that this lived in, this is as good. This is as good. It literally couldn't. It can't get any better. For the universe that this lives in, these three gentlemen, Josh, John, and Hayden, did the most perfect job any hardcore fan could have ever imagined. And you finished it on such, I was so nervous going into these final 5 episodes. And there was a level of confidence that we expressed numerous times as we got deeper and deeper into this series. After the first season, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Second season, wow, they gave us a second season.
Good. Yeah.
And then, they had, the thing is with the first handful of seasons, they had that the card in their back pocket. We're gonna bring Kreese back for the second season. Yeah. Then all the fans are waiting to see if you're gonna bring Sean Kanan back, Mike Barnes. Are you gonna bring Terry Silver back? Who's gonna come back? Yeah. And so they had that. That was obviously gonna make fans very happy. But they still had to have great writing.
Yeah, they didn't rely.
They didn't just rely on that as you moved further into the seasons. And look, guys, I'll just say right now, if you're already this far in, this one's going long, and I can't. Look, as a reactor, we have a time we like to stay in. As a Karate Kid fan, I'm not cutting this one short. So if you're here for the long haul, this one's going long, and I'm not going to apologize for it, because this is actually. We watch a lot of good stuff, but this show is actually very, very important to me, and I hold it near and dear to me, which again might sound a little cheesy, but it fits with the theme of everything, right? It's karate.
It's it's about an under 18 karate tournament,
yes.
Right?
Here I am, I'm a 45-year-old man. Hey, the story about this teenage karate tournament in California. This one I hold close to my heart, but it works. But so, yeah, they did everything. Now, we've talked pretty expansively about the previous episodes, and so I could recap the whole season and then go back and I could sit here for however much time you want to give me, days, weeks, months, and talk about this. And I'll be talking about it for arguably the rest of my life. But for the interest of not keeping this,
We only got 18 hours on the.
Yeah, we got 18 hours left on our memory card. I'll try to focus a little bit on this episode. I have it on my phone. I've had it in rotation in my motivational gym music since, I don't know, since I had my first CD player, tape deck, whatever. And I said in earlier episodes, and I said in the last episode, they got one more episode to give us You're the Best by Joe Esposito. They got one more episode. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. I lost my voice a little bit. I've yelled a lot in these reactions. This is the most I've yelled. I have a very, very, very big engagement where I have to be on a microphone professionally outside this channel.
Better get some tea and
I
honey.
have a very, very large engagement coming up very soon that I need my voice for, so I'm hoping I didn't screw myself over. What happened to your voice? Cobra Kai, Joe Esposito. But the fact that they brought that back was incredible to start this off. Look, having Daniel be Johnny Sensei, I thought was really brilliant, because at the time, earlier on in this episode, we were led to believe that, kind of if Johnny can win, he's going to keep the dojo going. Daniel's going to kind of step aside. But Daniel's, kind of his thing has been carrying on Mr. Miyagi's legacy, for this entire 6 seasons, it's called Cobra Kai, and it's really, for as much as we love the story about Daniel, it's really like this giant redemption arc for Johnny. Is what it is.
Gets the win.
So to have Daniel step in as Johnny Sensei, I think was awesome. To have Chosen training him too was awesome. We can go back to a couple seasons ago where we saw Chosen and Johnny on the mat for the first time. And we're like, when you're an old school Karate Kid fan, you have after 2 came out, it was like, but okay, we get that Daniel beat him, Chosen, Daniel beat Johnny, but what we really want to know is who would win between Johnny and Chosen. And then of course moving forward with Mike Barnes. But the fact that we got to see Johnny and or rather Johnny being trained by Daniel and Chosen was awesome. And then, they kind of stepped out and they went back to the beach, where it all started, the two of them, and they were training. I know I missed part of that training, which I really need to go back. I popped so hard for even Mason Quinn.
I was like, dude, you're missing the dialogue.
You're missing stuff. I went so nuts for You're the Best. But they replayed Rocky, where they run into the water and the kids chasing them, and so that was pretty iconic. So I thought that was really interesting. That kind of throughout the course of this series, we've seen those two have their riffs, but Daniel always kind of looking out for Johnny as far as a job at the car dealership, and they had their disagreements, but when things got bad, when push came to shove, Daniel was there for Johnny, and he was at the end. So we saw that there with the training, the lesson about win or lose, you've got everything, right?
Already won.
And and we saw Miyagi in part 1 say, win, lose, no matter. And later on in part 3, as we move forward into this episode, Miyagi told Daniel when he was fighting Mike Barnes, it's okay, it's okay to lose to an opponent, it's okay to lose to this, it's not okay to lose to your inner fear. And so having Daniel be Johnny Sensei, I thought was brilliant. That was cool. They showed him nervous with Carmen and the baby, and there's a lot more on the line now. You're not just fighting for yourself, you're not just fighting for pride, you're fighting for the family. Look, when we got to the tournament, I mean, to see these guys and to see Daniel in the black gi.
Oh, when they came out,
that was
Cobra
pretty
Kai.
epic. Yeah. But I should backtrack here for just a second before I get to the tournament. I know I'm trying to kind of go chronological throughout this particular episode. A huge story that we've had through this season that they wrapped up, and this is another one where Josh, John, and Hayden absolutely crushed it. We saw that we saw that conflict within Daniel from what he learned about Miyagi earlier on in this season, and it felt a little bit like they kind of let it go for a little bit. They teased us. They teased us when they were in Barcelona for the Sekai Taikai, like, hey, I know a little bit more about what happened. I know this, I know that. They came back, and we saw Daniel earlier on in this last episode just kind of let it go. And, when we saw him with Miyagi battling his fears and stuff, and that which was just an epic scene. But the way the way that they told that story, why did Miyagi get in trouble? Why was he arrested? Why were the police looking for him? And Daniel thought in the back of his head, maybe this is a part of him I don't know. Maybe he's not the person I thought he was. And it's like, no, all those things that you saw about him, that was him being exactly the person you thought he was. His wife's necklace, they stole the pearl necklace in an internment camp. If you're younger or don't know that much about history, you could look that up. Pretty rough time for some Japanese Americans here during World War II, and I don't want to downplay that by saying pretty rough time, but in the interest of the review, you can kind of check that out. But the fact that Miyagi was fighting for his wife's honor by getting those pearls back, like, you know, and the fact that they had Daniel's mom deliver that line
and that's what I liked, is that it was his mom still giving that bit of wisdom to Daniel when even though he thought, you know, he's a grown man now, successful car dealership, the whole Cobra Kai thing, it was still his mom to come back and still impart to him some wisdom that he didn't know, and to kind of open everything up.
And here's the thing, that thing with the pearls and that backstory with Miyagi and stuff, it didn't need to be in here.
No.
Right? It didn't need to be in here. It wasn't anything where like, oh, do we need to tell this backstory of Miyagi? No, but they did, and it created an extra layer, and it was a phenomenal part of the story. And that was the thing with this entire, look, it wasn't like they had 3 movies but essentially with this cast, you had 3 movies, part 1, 2, and 3, to write an entire future story for. So they weren't really tied to anything. And so all this stuff this is brand new story. They're not going off of a book. They're not going off of a television series. This is new. So the creativeness of these 3 gentlemen and being able to tell that story and bringing that extra layer of emotion with Mr. Miyagi, like, you know what? When Mr. Miyagi had to whoop ass because it was about his family's honor, he did. And we saw that in the earlier episodes, or in the earlier movies, that, look, he didn't fight when he didn't need to, but when it was time to it was time to get down, he did.
Well, that's what I like too, is that it gave us another layer to the Mr. Miyagi character, because I've said it before about how important Pat Morita was to so many of us who grew up watching The Karate Kid. He was a very important, you know, part of our lives, as silly as that may sound, but there was a role that he played in it, and it was nice that we got that additional kind of story about Miyagi and what he was willing to do. It was kind of the same feeling I had after we watched Karate Kid Part 4, where it's like, okay, the movie's kind of whatever, but at least we got more Miyagi out of the deal.
That was really interesting. So I had never watched Part 4. We kind of, you know, in my little circle of Karate Kid hardcore fans, we always kind of said it's not really part of the Karate Kid series, but for us, when we went back and watched it here recently, you know, just seeing more Pat Morita was really awesome, and it kind of worked out well that we waited as long as we did. But anyway, fast forwarding back to the tournament, seeing everybody, look, they kind of started making, you know, giving us those little W's. I shouldn't say little W's. We saw, you know, Robbie and Tori get sponsorships. And that was the one thing throughout the course of this series is, you know, they painted this picture of, you know, Tori having a rough upbringing. And even though Robbie's family life obviously got much better, some decisions he made when he was younger may have prevented him from being in the same situation as Miguel or Sam. And so they gave us, before they gave us Johnny's W, they gave us a huge W for Sam and Robbie, and they had Sam look at the number and was like, "Holy cow, that's life changing!" And then she was like, "Well, that's
Tori,
excuse me, Tori, yeah." And she's like, "That's life changing." And the rep was like, "Well, that's your base salary.
That's your base salary."
And then throw it over to Robbie.
And then we see them. And then we got to see them in the commercial. You know, breaking
Demetrius
the board,
and his girl got back together. I thought that was awesome. But look, the tournament fight was pretty epic. And, you know, I'm glad that Johnny had a little bit of self-doubt, and they gave us that moment for him to go over to Daniel.
Yeah, that whole scene in the locker room.
Yeah, well, yeah, geez, I'm bouncing around. The locker room felt very much like it started very much like Dutch coming in to talk to Daniel before, obviously, the tournament. You know, obviously, and Chad McQueen, just, you know, rest in peace, just a huge, you know, part of the entire foundation of this Karate Kid, and that locker scene. Oh, when little Danielle, mommy not here to dress you? I mean, just dead meats, you know, that was iconic. So they kind of played back on that.
Yeah, to create that doubt within Johnny. He's like, man, and that's where I thought they were going to go, kind of with the way Daniel had to fight with Mike Barnes. We're like, yeah, I'm afraid of him. Is that what you want to hear? I thought maybe they might go that route with Johnny. But again, this writing crew is so brilliant. They knew they'll start to work you that way just a little bit and give you the taste, and then originality, you know, so you still get kind of the vibe. So I liked that, how they played off Johnny's character having the doubts, and it started in the locker room with him basically getting worked over. Like, what chance does he have?
Well, then, you know, Chosen was telling Daniel, look, you have to motivate him in the way that works for him. And he did, like, you know, we don't does fear exist in this JoJo? No, Sensei. To have Daniel LaRusso in a black gi saying those lines and then to go out there and kick his ass, I thought was phenomenal. I was waiting for the no mercy or the finish him. I'm like, are we gonna have him say no mercy or finish him? And I'm like, part of me wanted it from the fan service. They did enough fan service, but now, like, in this short reflective time since, like, the finish him thing, we'll leave that one for Martin Kove. You know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't have really fit.
That's Martin Kove, the finish him. And the last no mercy that we got, of course, you know, at the end, Johnny talks about it, which we'll get to also. But the fact that they left the last no mercy for Sensei Kreese, Martin Kove, I think was pretty awesome. But we got the fight went good. Look, we started to see a little bit of Karate Kid Part 3 with him, you know, doing some cheap shots. I was wondering if he was gonna get a point, take away a point, get a point to really work Johnny. But it came out, you know, it came down, and you know, they started balancing out a little bit. I was a little bit
and that's what I liked, is that we all expected them to do the take a point, lose a point, take a point, lose a point.
They did,
and they did. But they didn't rely on it, which was the brilliance of it, because they gave you that taste of nostalgia, and it was there, but still presenting something new with the way they did the fight, which I thought was great.
Yeah, and the final point, I thought it was great. They showed Johnny, and it was funny that Daniel, talk about fan service. How about the point where, you know, the only reason the crane kick worked is because you ran right into it. It was like, because of course, anybody, like, when you go back to the original Karate Kid, when Daniel was learning the crane kick from Mr. Miyagi, oh, does it work? And he goes, Mr. Miyagi says, classic line, if done correct, no can defense. If done correct, no defense. It's like, if somebody's coming and does a front snap kick, there's absolutely a defense. It was one of those things, and this is the entire universe of Karate Kid. It was one of those things when you watched when you were a kid, where like, oh, crane kick, if done right, no defense. And you probably had adults watching it, like, oh, you just put your hand up, you know, there's a defense. And as you get older, it's part of the fun and the nostalgia. But it was so funny that they brought that up. So it's like the writers, look, Josh John Hayden, you know, I follow them on Instagram. It looks like they're probably roughly our age, maybe a few years younger, late 30s, early 40s. But so I think they get that humor. You know, of like, hey, there's a lot of things they put in the original that seem dramatic at the time to kids, but adults must have been like, what do you mean there's no defense? But so the fact that they said, hey, Johnny ran right into it was great. In the moment, and I had to take a few seconds, in the moment, the point to win, it was quick, and I was like, oh, that's it. That's the win, you know? But they put the emphasis on the setup for the point, where in the first Karate Kid, the original, he was the aggressor. He came back. Now, he did the aggression that he had to do to get the points. And then he found the balance, the mixed style. He backed up a little bit, let Wolf come to him, and got the point. Although it was cool that when they were showing him in the dojo training, you know, he did a tornado kick and kicked the bag, and Daniel's like, no, you leave yourself open. He still used it, but he backed up. So getting the point in the fashion he did, I thought was great, because they showed him backing up first, if that makes sense. He was having that, okay, this is the mistake I made last time. I'm angry. I have to find my balance. I have to back up. Got the point.
And that's the brilliance, I think, that sometimes goes unnoticed with fight scenes in Hollywood. I think everybody thinks, you throw some guys who are well skilled in martial arts or whatever, and you'll let them throw a fight, or you let them have a fight on film, on screen, and it'll turn out great. Well, there's a lot of work that goes into that. And how do you do, at what point do you throw the kick? When do you throw the punch? How do you do it? How do you film it? How do you make it look? We saw the sweep the leg in the final fight, which of course is so iconic. That's up there with the crane.
And I'm in here like going like this in the review, and look, I'm looking at our monitor to see if I got my hands even. It's gonna make the cut because I held it for like 2 minutes. But you know what? Look, it would have been a little cliche if you look either side of me. If he won with the crane kick, holy shit, he won with the crane kick. But you're not crane kicking Wolf to a win.
Yeah.
So look,
and it's like the creators knew. We know you want this. We know you do, but just trust us. You'll like this.
If we give it to you, you're gonna look back on it. And like, is that really?
Yes.
Is that really it? So of course, you know, Johnny gets the W. He's a world champion. He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. They give him the house. We get to send off to college. Miguel's gonna go hang out in Okinawa with Sam. They follow up with Robbie and Tori, you know, and then we see Johnny back at the dojo, which I thought was really, really special because he's back, right? He's back. Cobra Kai's legacy lives on, but in a different manner. Now he's still going to be Johnny Lawrence, and that's the other thing I liked about.
I was glad they had that in there.
The way they ended it, like he still was himself, you know, the giving the kid a hard time about the glasses, and this guy looks like Miguel. That was Johnny. Don't be pussies, you know. That was Johnny. But the big thing that they did different here, and the biggest thing that another credit to the writing and the creators is they very specifically had Johnny say, "You're going to be a badass, no mercy. You know, sometimes if you're too nice, the world will walk all over you." But they threw in the line, "I am going to help you become the best version of yourself." And adding that line in there, like, look, this is what karate's all about. This is what it's about. You're going to be the best version of yourself. It gives him that leeway to still be himself, still be Johnny, still be rough around the edges, and still have valuable lessons you can take away. And of course, they also showed that his students would still be training Miyagi-Do to learn that balance.
And they were doing trades.
So Daniel trades with the team. So Daniel is still a sensei in his own right. Johnny has his own school. So now we have these two schools that are coexisting, which you never thought you'd see both of them at the same time. And then we saw them come together earlier on, and now they're kind of back separated but coexisting. And I thought it was great. And again, like this is as much time as we put into a review of the best Oscar-winning films we do on this channel with 4 people. But I don't. Again, if you've hung out this long, awesome. But there's no way for me personally to do a reaction to a series that means so much to me and go short on this. And if I'm being honest, in the 5 years we've been doing movies on these channels, there's stuff that I really love, you know, but there's a small handful of movies and TV shows that we watch where I'm like, you know, this one is really close to me.
They really stick with you.
And to be honest with you, most of those things, it's stuff we've seen already. So that's the thing as a reactor, right? Like if you're watching this channel, you know, like first time reaction, that's the thing with reaction channels, right? And all the stuff that I hold very near and dear to me is stuff that I saw 40 years ago. I saw it, you know, I know it. Like, look, we could, if we want to go back through and do a full rewatch of the Wonder Years, that would be great. But it's not new. It's like you've seen it all. And the great thing about this was it combined the nostalgia that I've had for the last 40 years of my life with new content, and it's just, look, it's been a really special ride. I know, as I've said a few times in this reaction, and I've said multiple times throughout the course of this series, that I know that sounds overly dramatic for a couple of guys in their mid-40s, especially me with this as much as I've gotten into it, to say that this is near and dear to me, and to thank. I'm as thankful for this show, and I know that sounds overly dramatic. I'm as thankful for the show as I ever have been for any piece of TV or film.
Yeah, I mean, look, if it's quality and if it hits you where it matters, that is all.
We went to look. Me and my buddy Ryan Vandersand, and one of my best friends from growing up, and we're still close to this day. We dressed up as Johnny and Daniel. Our friend Riley came with us, also dressed up. The premiere on May 2nd in the theaters here. There was, you know, it was on YouTube Red. They were dropping they played the original Karate Kid movie, and they played the first 2 episodes. And we were like, this is going to be packed. The theater's going to be packed. We got in there. There was like 4 other people in there. The theater, but I think everybody was like, YouTube Red, what is this? And people were worried about Cobra Kai. I mean, we weren't, because we were hardcore fans, but we dressed up. You know, we've even joked. We're like, do we go as Johnny and Daniel? like in their geese. We're like, no, that's too cliche. There's going to be other people dressed up as Johnny.
Trying to figure that he
There's
show
going to
up.
be other
Where's
people.
everybody?
There's going to be other people. So we went as Beach Fight Johnny and Daniel. Maybe we did the full photo shoot, guys. We did the pictures. We recreated the scenes in the sand. I have video of me doing the soccer ball on the knee in the theater. Kids are looking at me like, what's with the old guy on the soccer ball? But so yeah.
Well, the other W we didn't talk about was Chosen and Kim.
Yes.
First off, and again,
love.
we're going long, but what the hell at this point doesn't matter. Okay, so Kim didn't go to jail for taking out her grandfather.
She got away with taking out her grandfather.
As Martin Kove said, he probably deserved it.
Yeah.
As we saw. So again, great to see Chosen and Kim able to. They gave us enough. We know where it's going. So that was yet another W, and I just feel like everybody on the cast got one. But again, what a great addition they were to the series.
Yeah, guys. I think part of the reason why I want to go so long on this is because I know we got a movie yet. We got a movie yet, but and I'm excited for the movie, but I'm guessing that a lot of this cast may not be in the film, and so. Look, we ran really long on this. I could talk about this for a long time. But in any regard, again, our longest review ever. But yeah, guys, I got to go home now. Got a group of my non-bad medicine family friends that I've been waiting to blow up their phones with all my thoughts and reactions and everything on these final 5 episodes. And it's just been an incredibly fun ride. So for the last time, I'm just gonna say again, thank you so much to all the cast, especially William Zabka, Ralph Macchio, and Martin Kove for bringing my childhood back to the screen. But the big thank you that I'm gonna say is to Josh, John, and Hayden. You guys took a story that was so near and dear to an entire generation's heart, and you brought it forward. You gave us 6 incredible seasons and did so in a fashion that we never could have wished for anything more. And on top of that, you opened the door for an entire new generation of Karate Kid fans. So hey, with that, I think it's fair to say that because of Josh, John, and Hayden, Cobra Kai truly never dies, guys. I think, scores are kind of a formality.
I mean,
so
at
we
this
have to
point,
do
I
it.
think it's obvious, but hey,
we have to do it.
If you've made it this far, thank you very much for being with us. Score time. So look, there was never any doubt for me within like the first 15 minutes of this episode. I knew it was going to be awesome. Everyone did a fantastic job. 5 out of 5 answers for me. This was an absolute blast. You guys did the impossible, I would say, because again, it could have gone wrong so easily, and you absolutely crushed it. Awesome job.
And for me, same score, but I'm using my board for something else here tonight. First time in bad medicine history.
Thank you.
Yeah, you already knew it was going to be a 5, but I wanted that to be the last image. Was me saying thank you. Thank you. This has been incredible.
All right, folks, it's been an amazing journey these past 6 or 7 years. So thank you so much for joining us here on the channel. So for Appleton Oak, I'm Mason Quinn. This is Bad Medicine. That was Cobra Kai. Oh, it was a wild ride, and we'll see you on the next one.